those who are not able to survive well in an environment, they will not even reach the reproductive age. They will perish very fast. Is it 4,000 years old? No, the earth, according to evidences, the earth is about 4.2 billion years old. The individual, that is an organism's traits or characters, is actually carried to the progeny from the parents. Hello everyone, a warm welcome to another session on chapter 7, that is Evolution of 2nd PUC Biology. I'm Dr. Divya, Biology Faculty, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, Mysuru, Temple of Excellence. So in the previous session, we had discussed about how actually life originated in the Earth, and we had discussed various experiments and theories that were put forward by various scientists to say how actually life originated, and we came to know that life actually originated from the inorganic constituents such as the RNA, proteins and various other components that were formed based on Miller's experiment. In today's session, we shall discuss about various theories that were put forward by various scientists towards the process of evolution, because we all know that the present day plants or animals that we see today did not exist earlier time, or though they had existed earlier time, the present day plants or animals that we are seeing has changed itself through a process of drastic evolution. So how did this evolution take place? What are the reasons behind it? To tell about that, various scientists have put forth various theories which we shall study in today's session one by one. We shall start about the evolution of life forms, different theories that were put forward. So the first theory that was put forward on the evolution of life forms is the theory of special creation. So, theory of special creation, actually, it was based on the religious literatures that were available. We all know that earlier the religious people used to write about any happenings in the earth, right? So, based on that, based on the literature or the words that were put forth in the literature or the sentences that were framed in the literature, there are 3 sentences that were found, which were all living organisms, be it of different species or times that we see today, were created as such. Is it true? No. Based on previous session, we understood that this is not true. As such, how can it be created? No, there has to be something, some source which should have created an organism, right? But, so therefore, this is wrong here. It is false. But based on literature, what it says, all organisms that we see today arised in the earth as such or were created as such. And the second sentence that they found in the early literatures were that the diversity of the organisms was always the same since creation, and it will be the same in the future also. So what did they mean? Diversity of organisms existed in the earlier times and it will remain to exist as such in the future also, and it has nothing to do with the evolution. No, the diversity of the organism is actually because of the evolution. We all know that. And the third connotation was that the earth is about 4,000 years old. Is it 4,000 years old? No, the earth, according to evidences, the earth is about 4.2 billion years old, right? It is not 4,000 years old. That is also wrong. So these theories are actually wrong. People nowadays, we don't believe in this. Why? Because it is just unscientific without any evidences. But, and also if you have seen the previous session, even you can understand these theories that they have put forward is actually wrong based on the literature in one particular book. Next, it was Darwin who actually gave a clear cut about the theory of evolution. That is how actually evolution occurred in the life form. So we shall see Darwin's theory of evolution. So now we know that those 3 statements that were taken from a literature is actually not correct because it doesn't have any scientific evidences for that. And that was the time when actually Charles Darwin, he put in his theory, which is called as the theory of evolution. So Darwin, what he did was he put this theory actually based on the observations he did. When he did do the observations, so Darwin actually, he was a sailor. So when he was traveling in a ship, that is the HMS Beagle ship, he was traveling to various islands, he saw that there were a diversity of organisms. Say for example, if it is the finches, in different places the bird is a finch, the species is a finch, but there was variation in the species that he saw. So all that made him to put forth this particular theory, which is the theory of evolution. He said that variation usually occurs in the individuals and they occur randomly in nature. So that was his randomly among different members of species. So that was a statement that he actually put forward based on his observation. And also he said that the individuals, that is an organism's traits or characters, is actually carried to the progeny from the parents. So that is true. Say for example, we human beings, we carry few of the traits from our parents, but do we carry all the traits? No. If you remember, when you study about cell division, you had studied a term called as recombination, right? Wherein the genes get exchanged between the non-sister chromatids during crossing over. So that will result in some variation. Though we carry some of the traits from our parents, but we will have still those traits which don't belong to our parents. It is because of the recombination that occurs in the chromosome or the gene, right? So therefore, a individual's trait could be inherited by its progeny. Not all the traits, but few of the traits could be inherited by the progeny. So this theory put forward by him is also correct. And next, he also said that the struggle for existence would allow only those with favorable traits to survive. We all know about it, be it a plant or be it an animal. Those which carry good traits or healthy traits from their parents, only those will able to survive, and those with the not so good traits will not survive because they would have been not able to survive to the external changes in the environment that takes place. So therefore, that statement is also correct. Even a plant also, plants having a very good trait, it will survive well in any kind of an environment, but those which do not will perish very fast, right? The same thing. So what he said, the struggle for existence would allow only those with favorable traits to survive in the earth. Others will just perish off, leading to the abolition of that particular species. So that is what Darwin's theory of evolution stated. And also, apart from the theory of evolution, Darwin also put forward one more theory, which is called as the theory of natural selection. So according to his theory, he said that nature actually selects the individuals. So which individuals will the nature select? Those individuals or organisms which are fit, right? Which are fit to survive. So we can take the example of any animal. So imagine fishes. Fishes lays lakhs together, thousands together of eggs. Imagine if all those eggs had developed into the young fishes, the ocean and the seas and the rivers, all that would be filled or overpopulated with fishes. But do you find all these places overpopulated with the fishes? No, right? Only those which are fit to survive, which are healthier, which are able to prove themselves in the situations, external situations or environmental situations, only those will survive. The others will become a prey to other organisms, or they may, before reaching a reproductive age itself, they might perish. So that is what is natural selection here. So those who are, according to Darwin, he said that those who are better fit in an environment, they leave more progeny than the others. That is true. Why? Because those who are not able to survive well in an environment, they will not even reach the reproductive age. They will perish very fast. So therefore, only those who are fit and able to survive in any extreme situations in the earth or in the nature, they will be able to give rise to a lot of progenies or offsprings in the future. And these organisms which are fit and able to survive well are the ones who will survive to many years, and hence they will be selected by the nature. Others will perish. It means that survival of the fittest. Those who are fit to survive, they will survive. They will lead their life. They will produce progeny. They will produce new generations. But those who are not fit, they will be perished. They will be rejected by the nature. So that is the Darwin's theory of natural selection. And one more theory was being put forward, that is the theory which was put forward by a scientist. He was a naturalist. His name is Alfred Wallace, and he actually did experimental works or observations in the archipelago islands of the Malayan region, that is the Malay archipelago islands. So during his expedition in the Malay archipelago islands, he saw that there were new types of organisms which are recognizable. Why are they recognizable? Of course, because they would have taken the same traits from their parents. Not completely 100% traits from the parents. At least 50% they would have taken the traits from the parents, and other 50% they would have their own traits, right? So therefore, he found out some of the organisms were recognizable. I told you finches. So finches, they may have different beak colors, but the finch bird is same to look at, but there might be variation in the beak color, right? Why are they same to look at? Because they would have taken the traits from their parents. Why a different beak color? It is because of a different set of genes that are there. So therefore, according to his theory, that is the theory put forward by Alfred Wallace, he said that in the course of time, that is during the process of evolution, he found out that there are a type of organisms which are recognizable. So you can recognize there is a similarity. If you see a lizard with that of the dinosaur, the reptiles and the dinosaurs, they are almost similar. Right, almost similar. Or the lizards, reptile family, all the animals, they look almost similar, though they have huge differences in the body size and all that. But when you see them, you can say they belong to the reptiles because of some similarities, right? Why is that? Because they carry few of the same traits from their progeny or the ancestors. And also he said that all the existing life forms, they share similarities from a common ancestors. The best example is we human beings. How do we look like? We look like the monkeys, right? If you see the finger of a monkey, the digits or the fingers of the monkeys, they look almost similar, right? And the facial our skull. If you have seen a skull, human skull, it looks exactly like that of a monkey, right? Why? And during the process of evolution, we have got the shape. But still we belong to the primate family. We have our ancestors were the primates, right? The monkeys, the apes and all that. So that is what he meant. That is all the existing life forms, they share a common similarity with that of the ancestors. But these ancestors were present at different periods in the history of the earth, right? Do you see? The monkeys and the apes are there, but in between the process of evolution, so from the monkeys and the apes, we are standing in this earth today, right? But in between them, there were group of people that is during the process of evolution. Those set of evolved or animals that were there or the primates that were there, they are not seen nowadays. Why? Because they were present in different periods of time, right? Now we are there. Maybe we will imagine after thousands to millions of years, will we exist? We also will become an ancestor, right? Will we exist? No. We also still all organisms are evolving. We are evolving. The best thing is like we have certain organs in our body which are of no use, but it is there. We have appendix. Is appendix of use to us? No, it is of no use. If appendix is removed also, nothing will happen to the person. Because it is a useless organ, maybe in the thousands to lakhs generation, those people may not have appendix at all. It is a process of evolution. So we are existing today in this period. but after millions of years, we will be there in different forms. That is, humans will evolve into different forms. So these changes are actually, but our ancestors, we don't see our ancestors nowadays because of they existed in different periods. So that is, those periods are called as epochs. Epochs are nothing but a beginning of a period, then eras during different years or periods. All these people existed, all these evolution, that is ancestors existed, but we don't see them nowadays. So that is the main reason, because evolution is taking place. And it was said that the early snakes had limbs, right? Or do you see any snake with limb? No, that was a period when the snakes had limbs. But nowadays, this period or this era, snakes do not have limbs. Or I'm talking about the giraffes. The giraffes had short neck. Now they have very long neck during the process, because of the process of evolution. But do you think that, but can you see giraffes with the short neck now? No, that was an era or a period when such giraffes existed, but now they don't. So these were the theories put forward by Alfred Wallace. And also he said that the history of the earth, the geological history of the earth, it actually almost closely correlates with the biological history of the earth, right? Why geological history? Because all organisms, the atmosphere was the one which actually gave rise to the formation of all organisms. It was because from the atmospheric gases which reached to high temperature, they got converted into ammonia and various other organic components, right? So there is a strong correlation between the geological history of the earth and the biological history of the earth. All these are very much true. And finally, Alfred, he came into a conclusion that the earth is very, very old and it is not thousands of years. Remember, according to a literature, how old the earth was? It was just 4,000 years old. Is it? No, it is very wrong. It is due to a process of evolution, that is 500 million years of evolution actually led to the existing earth that is there. So therefore, earth is not just thousands of years old, but it is billions of years old. So now we are there again after billions of years old. Maybe we'll become an ancestor. Maybe people then will start seeing us in the form of pictures in the books and all that, like how we are seeing the Neanderthals, which we call those ancestors, our ancestors, which are the Neanderthals and all that, those ape families. They're not there. We are seeing them in the books and pictures, right? Like that people might see us, because evolution is a continuous process that is actually taking place. So this is about the different theories that were put forward to prove that life forms actually keep on evolving. So this is about the today's session. So in the next coming session, we shall discuss about what are the evidences for evolution. So Alfred Wallace put forth a theory, right? And also Darwin put forth a theory. Now we need evidences for that. How did they put forth a theory? Based on whatever they saw when they were exploring various islands and places, right? So we need evidence for that now. So what are the different evidences to prove that evolution is taking place and evolution existed before and it is still continuing? All that, there are various evidences such as the embryological evidences, the anatomical and morphological evidences, all that are there. So all these we shall study in the coming session. So we shall meet again in the coming session. Thank you.